Yo, sorry, I'm real kind of just getting into it, so I'm underprepared as usual. So I guess I'm prepared as I ever am. Um, yeah, I really planned to just leave you all hanging on rookie data, but I get asked so often about when it's going to be out. I'll show you what I'm been doing. I actually don't have where am I? Who knows? My NFL database updated. We're gonna have to do that live. We'll do it live, chat. We'll do it live. Because I've been working on this thing, which is I'm updating my name database. I gotta put D3 in here. I actually have never done DLF before, but I want to start dragging ADP to things. But I've been linking Pro Football Reference with College Football Reference with player name and basic stats, their air yards API name, and their date of birth, draft year, draft data, because I use that to make my market share database ID, which is in here somewhere too, so that I can, maybe start to do rookie data, but I got to do all this first. So yeah, tell you what, I'm gonna play this while I pull up this thing that I meant to have done already. There we go, a new intro from Zach Greed. How can you beat that to start a stream off, All right, so this has changed as well. I might start crashing my my stream because I've been building another database for NFL stats because I'm the only one still interested in them. Apparently, it's all rookies all the time there. So it's got data going back to 2009 now, so we have to be a little more different when we update. We have to look for the right year and go from there. All right, so that's annoying. All right, it's been a while since we've done it live, guys. Don't know if you remember the system, but yeah, we're gonna pull up RotoViz's weekly stats to start with. I'll start input them into the sheet, and I'll update it, and I'll post it for you all. Finally home machine there, so it shouldn't take too long. How you all doing? Questions, comments? I got 27 viewers, 30. Wow, that's a lot more than usual, and no comments. Spaceman not in here yet, I guess. All right, subscribe. That's not the right button. Come on, RotoViz. I exist. You know me. Shout out to Patreons who get me access to the thing. All right, so we're going to start with receiving stats. An update for the games I just played. Tell you what, if you really want a very long, frustrating, or me being frustrated stream, I can live stream updating my college database. It'll be about 96 hours long, and I'll swear a lot. Just to let you know. Oh, all right. The way this thing works is I can download new data from the weekly app, paste it in, and it all updates for me. But I got to update all the sheets and then tell it who's in there, basically. We need some music up in here. Where's that thing? There's that thing. You all dizzy yet? Shit makes me dizzy. All right. Ooh, I do not need all of these active. That's gonna make it. Have I crashed? I'm just gonna make it easier on the CPU and move on from there. All right, I swear, give it a second, and I'm turning a lot of formulas into actual values, which should make it easy on the CPU, and then I'll stop lagging so much. Unless this is like the 9th time I crash Excel today. Yep. Okay. You can do it. I believe in you. I gotta buy a PC, man. Yeah, sure. Restart it. Okay. Okay. We're trying it again. Hold your breath. Seriously. No spaceman, no nothing? No crossover? Missing people. All right. All right, here we go. Why are all those? I messed a lot of stuff up. Give me a minute. Okay, yeah. All right. Six, 3-7. Someone remember that for me? That's the same. All right, let's try again. Yep. Fuck up. In my head. So, 2020 receiving data updated for the last few games. Plug it into the receiving tab. Yep, we got extra players. Just give me a second again. The genus who's like, yeah, let's stuff every year data in here. That'd be a good idea. Miami. All right. The good news is I only have to update the IDs once, and then I can just plug in all the other data, and it'll be done. Got to update that information. All right. So the roto screeners are pretty flat, huh? What did I need? Season, year, age, games, and draft capital. All right. Year, age, games, draft. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. We out here. Now we need running backs. So I'm downloading right now is draft capital data and career year data, which I use to make IDs, which they then use to populate the 2020 database that you all have. This is why you just take mine instead of fooling with it. Okay, live receivers. Promise this does not get more interesting. All right. Tight ends. There's so many players in 2020, it's not even funny. All right. All right. I should get most of them. Now I can actually upload for data. Sup? Nothing? Good, good, good. I mean, normally we're quiet up in here, but this is kind of ridiculous. So what are we doing right now? We're downloading 2020 data so I can input it into my handy little database format, which will update the overall spreadsheet so I can then put it out for you all and you can see all the stats for this year. But that requires me putting it into these separate spreadsheets, which then filters into the main sheet that you're all used to, this one. And we just did passing data, expected points, rushing, and receiving, believe it or not. What was the last one we downloaded? Passing? Yep. So we're moving on to opportunity. Dun, 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 dun. Can't wait till they finish updating the snap information because it's been lacking this season. And actually do something with that this off season, I think. Like show how they're not as useful as some people think. Nearly there. Oh, hey, Guy, how you doing? Yeah, sure. Ask away. Nothing I enjoy more than talking about rookie data. Give me a second. And remember, I really don't advocate for my model that much. I'm making them because I'm interested and I want to learn, but I think the best I've got is the way I view profiles. That's where I find my greatest success, as they'd say. Okay. I have to download team games as well. I forgot. Where are you? Let's see. If it's not something you're tired of explaining, never. Feel free to just tell me that you got a video about it. Did you come up with the post-draft model score? Well, again, I'm not advocating my models. They're my best attempt at creating a model that explains points per game through the first 3 years for wide receivers, through the first 2 years for running backs, and tight ends 3 years as well, and also quarterbacks. I do have a video on a rough overview of how I go about making very simple linear regression models. I don't have a video of me making my post-draft model, but yeah, there's some explanations on YouTube of how I go about it. But essentially, I used Excel because I'm a lowly Excel grinder. Let's see, where do you want to start from? I've tested a lot of stats over a lot of years in a lot of different ways, and using that knowledge, I retested everything to see what had the highest probability, which if you test linear regression models, it gives you a few different stats, including the certainty or probability that it has something to do with the Y variable that you're trying to explain. And another way of saying that is when you create or test linear regression, a stat for linear regression. You select the stats that you want to use. So using my research, I selected what I thought were the best stats, then ran linear regression on it. And that spits out a bunch of results, including one of them being which one had a high certainty that it had something to do with the Y variable, in my case, points per game through their first 3 years. So statistically, it's trying to tell me whether it's just random noise adding or subtracting from the signal, or whether it actually has significance towards points in their first 3 years. So then I selected for all the stats I was trying to use that had a high probability or high certainty that they had something to do with points per game and weren't just random numbers, essentially. I then retested within a sample of between, I think it was 2009 to 2017, removing the 2016 class so I could do an out-of-sample testing. And then I ran the linear regression model system in Excel as well. And that essentially helps you create a formula, which is my model, using certain stats, which I'll get into in a second, to predict points per game through the first 3 years, first 2 years for running backs. Pre-draft, I don't use draft capital. Post-draft, I let it use draft capital as a variable to predict points per game. So that's what the pre-draft one is. It's using stats without draft capital. And post-draft, it's using stats and letting it adjust for draft capital. So that's essentially how I created it, which is your question. I'm not sure that was the answer you were looking for, but that's the how. As far as what's in there, if you go to my database and go into the formulas and results tabs, you can literally see the formula that I've got for both of them. That's the one that the linear regression testing actually spit out. And why don't we do that? I always say do it, but I never actually show you all. So you can go to any of my timelines. Obviously, Twitter's my most visited. And there's a link here to my MS database. It is free, but it's hosts a link on Patreon. Just kind of an encouragement to maybe help me out a little bit. But if you click the link from there, whether you do or don't give me any money, it takes you straight to my market share database. Now, if you've used Google Sheets before, you should know that this will always be in your Google Sheets. It will always remember the link, so you don't have to keep going back through my link. From here, you can also make a copy for your own. Under the file menu, there's a little option here called make a copy. And then you've got your own copy, which you can edit, adjust, do whatever you want to. And my master copy will always be here. I also have a lot of links to other databases if you want different types of data. I have the class rate hit lookup chart in here, which isn't live right now, but it's what I did the last podcast on, the average hit rates at different production levels based on draft capital and breakout age. I've got a sources tab in here so you can see, where my data is coming from, and also where formulas come from, because I didn't create most of the, college dominator and stuff. That's formulas other people created, so I've got that listed in there as well. But if you scan over to this formula and results tab, you can see my R-squared results for different stats, and you can also see the formulas themselves, how you calculate them, essentially. So if I select for clear, let's go to model, which I've got misspelled, which is just so me. Let me see. You can just select the models, which is almost spelled, which is wonderful. And let's just do the post-draft wide receiver, I guess. So here are all my models for wide receiver. And if you go to the wide receiver post-draft 2020, because I update, like I create new models every now and again. So this is a 2021 scan over, and you can see the formula is draft capital times the pre-draft model. So that's literally, no problem, man. That's literally the formula. So the question there is what's in the pre-draft model, which is down here. And I use yards per team pass attempt, dominator average, the average dominator adjusted for age, and then their production score, which again, if you want to know the formulas for any of those, they're also in this formula and results tab. But essentially, that's their production by age multiplied by how predictive their actually production was. And that's the formula. So the post-draft model is essentially my pre-draft model adjusted for draft capital. Literally, that's the formula. I'm adjusting this much, and you can't see that, man. Hang on. Let me try and scan in a little bit. No, you still really can't see this, but you could if you went to the database. And this is draft round multiplied by this number, and pre-draft model multiplied by this number. That's the literal formula for it. So if you care to, you can recreate it, I guess. But the post-draft model is literally just my pre-draft model multiplied by draft capital. So the real question is, what's my pre-draft model? And that's using various different production stats adjusted for age, again, multiplied by certain coefficients that multiple linear regression testing spat out for me. And if you're interested in like how I do that, or at least the basics of how I do that, yes, there's a YouTube video, and it's a very long, boring one. But I lay out the basic strategy of how you use Excel to create multiple linear regression testing in there. So yeah, that is how I've created and what's in my post-draft model. Again, I try for transparency, which again stops a lot of victory lapping, because you can all go back and see how good or bad it is, literally, as well as all the formulas, which I think is a good thing. Anytime. So yeah, it's all as transparent as I make it. And the sources tab's probably one of the most useful ones, including where I'm specifically getting my data from. I've also got shout outs to people that like literally help me scrape this stuff. All in there. If there's another question, like if I didn't answer that, like what's in my post draft model well enough, let me know and I'll try and answer it more specifically. Hey, no problem, man. I'm live. You may as well ask. It's fine. Oop, there it is. I'm gonna have this 2020 data out to you guys. Sorry, I was late. I just have to do it all live because I was working on rookie data technically. So like, I mean, you can be on my back for one or the other, but I'm doing the work. I swear. All right. So everyone's played 16 games at this point. That'll make it easy. Okay, anything else I have to update here, Pete? Come on now. This little date would be nice. I don't know anyone else that does that, you know, literally lists their formulas and sources for free. I thought it was pretty obvious and cool, but, you know, maybe not. All right. All right. This should be as good as I've got it right now. So I'm going to make your version of it. And by you, man of the people. You guys might be interested in this, so I'll leave it in here but hidden. You can see the number of top 5, top 12, and top 24 seasons each player's had. I think that's pretty neat. I'm taking my model out though. Screw you. Oh, I'm gonna lose all that damn research. Ah, crap. Sure, whatever. I'll do it again. Whatever. Gotta do it for the people. I had so much research. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, sucker. Gets those two updated. All right, and I will point out, why not? Let's go big screen on this one. I now have data all the way back from 2009 through the same process. It's not my NFL database because my NFL database is linked up to all my IDs, so I can actually do a lot more research on it. But, oh, come on. Yeah, everything's from 2009, which is technically a 10-year sample, which is, I guess, why RotoViz has limited it till there. And you also have air yards since 2009, so that's another reason probably why. The one I'm going to link you all is a version of it just with 2020 in there because Patreons get that. Well, not this, my actual NFL database. But I'm thinking about using this as my NFL database. I've just got to see how much of a hassle it's going to be. So, yeah. Delete the helper columns. Okay. I don't have the weekly stats updated for you all or the team against yet, but this will have to do for now. Got to remove last week's update. Yep. Don't panic, Google. I've got it saved. It's okay. Where is it? There it is. Still here, Gee? Feeling all lonely there? No. Normally I have a few people interested in chatting. Week 17, you know. All right, links going in the chat. Now we're gonna update my peeps. Hang on. Gonna send the link to Patreon now too. Wherever will fly. I don't listen to Taylor Swift. What are we talking about? All right, it's out. Hey, Guy, I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me in to be a little desk mate. I like that. All right, now I just deleted all the research I was going to show you in order to update you quickly. So, yeah, let's fix that, shall we? I've got to update weekly stats and stuff, but I want to show you some stuff you can do with a stats database. Why not? Come on, open up. Oh, I forgot to. Okay. I forgot to include my weekly tab in my own copy. My team tab, sorry. So, equal to 9. What I wanted to do was show you expectations for rookies. At least I can do that for you, all right? So what stats do we want to see rookies, how they do in general if they're going to be successful? Good question. I'm going to start out with these ones that I have at the front. Let's do it by career year and draft capital. So I'll need an extra column here. I have this all set up in my old database. Again, I'm just kind of experimenting to see how much of a chore it's going to be to move to a new one. Average. If a player has more than 2, top 24 seasons, at what position? Let's do wide receivers first, eh? That sounds fun. Then we need to know their average position rank year 1. So, position rank. And we need career year as well. Yeah. Let's also ask if they were drafted within a certain range. You know what I mean? Man, I forgot how difficult these things are built. Maybe I'll just stick with my old database, man. This is a hassle. We also want them. This thing with RotoViz listings overall selection instead of draft round is you also got a list of picks. Oh. This is the ugliness of setting the shoot up. Are there no players? Greater than 2 wide receivers. Draft less than equal 32. Career year 1. No, we've got some in here. So the question becomes, what have I done wrong with my formula? Average position rank. Oh, that's why. I'm too used to having to manually write this stuff out. If you remove the little pound symbols, dollar symbols, you can have a column slide. Neat. Now we need to put in a career year. Is I. Column I. Okay, I've done too much here. Oh, right. That's why. All right, we're getting there, I promise. Albeit slowly. Let's make it black, shall we? Okay, we're getting there. All right, now we've got to create it for every other draft round for fun, you know? So the second round will be 660, pick 64, right? How deep do we want to go with this? Mm-hmm. 64, 90, 96, right? Mm-hmm. 96 plus 32. Anyone? 128. $128 plus 32. Anyone get there before me? Hey, one black coffee. Thank God. It was just me and Guy chilling at his desk. Happy New Year, bud. We're trying to see how much of a hassle it's going to be for me to update all my apps and tools with a new database by creating one with it. And the link for the 2020 data is already in the chat, bud. So what pick number is round 6? 82. I've got 182, right? It's a lot of work to get started, which it makes me doubly question why I would start again. But the Rotoviz weekly app it offers some benefits if I can get it working. I also want to put a sample size in here so I know what I'm looking at. But all right, so put a filter on this biatch. I don't know why I'm so addicted to putting formatting in here. It's where you get used to sharing so much. No one wants to see if it's ugly, so you get used to putting conditional formatting in here. Now I'm going to make some nice thick borders. I don't know why. That sounds realistic. Hide those. Oh wait, let's. How's round 7 listed in here? Yeah, RotoViz does undrafted free agents. Just get a draft pick of 329. So we can do that. Formatting. Um, 182 plus 32. Anyone? My mind just went blank. 214. I'll just do less than. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, there's definitely more than one. But there's only 2 with the rookie season. Okay. Still, less than or equal to 329, greater than or equal to 338. That should do it. Career year 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Sorry, I get quiet sometimes when I'm doing this. Sometimes it requires thought. I don't tell you. Okay. All right. So, average expectations for players drafted in rounds 1 and round 3. We don't want team position rank, although that's kind of interesting. Games. On average, players are going to have 2 top 12 seasons, top 24 seasons, play at least 13 games. There you go. And the expectations for players drafted in round 3 should be lower than players drafted in round 1. Makes sense. All right. Oh, and this thing's big. Hang on. Basically, these are averages across all those different stats for players drafted in round 1 or round 3, according to these tables, in their first, second, third, fourth year, if they had 2 top 24 seasons, which is like the cream of the crop, really. Hey, you had to, buddy. For expectations from rookies at all. So first round rookies, 18% target share on average in their first year, 14% if they're drafted in round 3. So I think both Rager is under this, and Min and Brian Edwards are under 14% as well, for example. And that shows you how far below the expectations they are in general. Well, that's the idea. Don't really expect inefficiency until round 4, which sucks for Denzel Mims. Because he was inefficient this year, to be sure. Check them. Okay. I wonder if, thinking out loud, I can set it up so you can pull up a specific rookie. I got an idea. Yeah, let's do this. And Zexom and Snow. If I make a little helper column here, another one. I can have it look up specific players so you can compare them directly in that table. That'd be neat. Might be useful for answering questions on Twitter, you know? Index match, man. It's the way to go. Okay. Yeah, I like this. Okay. Hang on. Got to redo all that formatting. Lower is better. Ah. I swear this is going to be cool as soon as I pull it out. I swear. That's an easier way than just, you know. Nice. All right. So Denzel Mims compared to where was he drafted, man? Can't even remember. Second round, right? There he is. I kind of like that. Hang on. Here you go. So this is what is it? Second round players, year 1, 2, and 3, and 4. These are, you know, the average stats. If they had 2 top 24 seasons, and running across the top here, you've got what Denzel Mims did because I typed his name in here. I could also type CD Lamb. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Damn it. There we go. So, as a rule, Denzel Mims kind of did underperform year 1. But his target share was above average. I'm going to write the rest off to the New York Jets. Hey, crossover, how you doing, man? Way to show up clutching it. Like, out here with just me and one black coffee and Guy at his desk at work. Nice to see someone else. Anyway, I think that's kind of cool. And there's the numbers that concerned us for Nikhil Harry year one. Nice. Yeah, 10%. You know, Mims wasn't as underproductive or under-expected. He was over-expected in volume. Harry's year really sucked. You can see how Lamb was like really good. Yeah, I kind of like that. Useful. I like useful things. Yeah. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Justin Jefferson was producing better than everyone who's ever had two top 24 seasons throughout the first 4 years on average in his first year. Okay, dude. All right. Anyone got any questions about a rookie? How do you spell his name? I don't even remember. Hamler was a second round pick, right? No, Hamlet not so bad, you want. Overall, as a rule. A little inefficient. We'll take it. Who else we got year one in 2020? We could do this for running backs too. I'm just stuck on wide receiver right now. The table will update if I switch it over to running backs. Ruggs, why not? Ruggs should be concerning at this point, as if he wasn't already. He was efficient on a fantasy points per game basis, at least. And 10% isn't terrible compared to an 18%. I mean, I continue to be uncertain, but not really a lot of hope for Ruggs. I mean, he was a little unlucky with touchdowns, too. But his opportunity was basically low compared to Dominator and Opportunity. He was like the third wide receiver on his team, too. Okay. Mims, that's who I started. Oh, Donald Mooney. Okay. Where was he drafted? The 4th round? Mooney was a 4th round pick, if I remember right. I mean, wow, 4th round picks. I've only got 2 of them in this sample the way I'm doing it. So he was a little underproductive compared to that one guy, apparently. Who was that? Mm-hmm. Less than 128. 128 and 97, right? Wide receiver. More than 2 top 24 seasons. Rookie year. Mike Williams. Okay. Hey, dude. Tampa Bay Mike Williams. Different Mike Williams. And that might be because the Mike Williams helper didn't. That might be counting more than multiple Mike Williamses. Oh, well. I like Donald Mooney's numbers from a 4th round pick point of view. Tell you what. Let's pull up my actually good one. He was a 5th round pick. Even better. This is my actual one. So 5th round picks with 2 top 24 seasons. I do only have one example of it. He got 19% target share in his first year, about 1.04 yards per team pass attempt. I mean, 5th round, well, just that one guy, it's really hard to compare. Let's try. Okay. So an average would help us out better there between the 5th and the 6th round. 14.5 would be a reasonable expectation. And he got 17%. Look at that. I like Mooney. Van Jefferson. That was the name I was trying to remember. Van Jefferson. Your 2nd round pick? Damn, that's not going to work out, in my opinion. Yeah. No on the Van Jefferson hype train, my man, my guys. Brandon Ayuk's probably actually going to look pretty good. So he was 2nd round, right? Yeah. Yeah, he looks exceptionally good compared to the average for players that hit. I mean, I'm not fence sitting. I like Ayuk now, but we would have to see what his cost is, or I would. I mean, look at those points per game. Woo. Yeah, he's just above average everything. Nicely done. We want to move to running back for a second? All right. Let's move to running back. Taylor was the 2nd round, right? Actually, is that 3rd round? Under 64. Yeah, we're good. Decent, actually. Yeah. I know he came on really strong towards the end of the season. I kind of want to make some Trent Richardson jokes, but I mean, yeah, he looks okay. 48% opportunity score. The average is 45, so it's not unusual for 2nd round players who are going to have 2 top 24 seasons at least, which isn't where we want him, but still, to get around that level of opportunity. So, yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I changed it. It's just we only really have one example since 2009, so it's a little hard. I would say Mooney's numbers look great. Quintus Cephas, thank you for writing that out because I would not be able to spell it. Again, with these 4th and 5th round picks, there's just relatively few. 2009, based on this new database. Yeah, I still remain out on Cephas. He didn't have a strong college profile. Didn't do anything extra that you'd expect from that level of pick. I mean, Mooney did something extra, in my opinion. Slightly more targeted than average. 3 5th round picks hit. Oh, okay. Let's do Donald Mooney again. By comparison. Boom. Look at that green. Look at that wonderful green and opportunity in games played. Yeah, he's just a lot more involved than you'd expect. And, you know, to the point, is Brian Edwards looking terrible. And I'm still on that train. Like, I never let rookie seasons disappoint me too much, even when other players are going off, which is what's hard to do. But yeah, Brian Edwards got about half the opportunity you'd expect from a third round pick, who, if he's going to be good, maybe slightly less. I mean, opportunity on average is 38%. Oh, I've got to set on running backs. Hang on. That's why. Yeah. So opportunity score is usually about 9.5 for third round picks if they're going to hit, and he got 2.3. That sucks. I'm just going to hold strong to that college profile, especially since Ruggs did even worse with draft capital. Yeah, I'd say that's more disappointing, personally, because he should have cost a lot more to get, you know. Yes, he was, sir. Yes, he was. I mean, he did pretty well for first round picks, to be fair. I would say his lag. I mean, we just underrated the fact that they were a little lower drafted than we hoped. But you know, he came on towards the end of the year. Again, that's much more like a sixth round pick. You know, he finished 10th overall. Typically, second round picks are going to finish 29th overall if they're going to have two or more relevant seasons. So, yeah, there's not much reason to fear Jonathan Taylor. Interestingly, Dobbins looked like. I mean, yeah, even Dobbins was over the average for opportunity. A little under that in opportunity score, but it's 36 to 45%. You know, it's fine. I just want whichever one's cheaper, to be honest with you. Cam Akers 2. And Cam Akers got even less. Who was I just trying to think of? He was a rookie this year, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Anyway, I thought that was fun. It's pretty easy to build if you know how to use an if clause in a formula. And again, so I give out the data. You can build whatever you want the way you want it. Just do a little search for yourself. It sure hell beats making new formulas with new acronyms, in my opinion. If this is blank, just leave it blank. If not, do the formula. That's how an if formula works. As long as you don't mistype something. Oh yeah, I need an equal sign in there. Tell you what. Uh, I made a second layer so you can look at two players at the same time. And so we can actually put Ruggs and Edwards next to each other and see their draft capital expectations. I don't know. I might be goofy, but I think that's cool. No, I'll tell you. Let's see. Ruggs was about 50 places under what you'd expect. Points, position rank. Edwards was like 80. Fucking opportunity. I mean, Edwards is about what? What is that? 6% to 23.8, so 17% below expectations. Ruggs was about the same, 17% below expectation, but with a higher level to reach, obviously. So both actually efficient, or should be. Sorry, and they were. Look at that. It's just manually doing what a lot of nerds are trying to do with a formula, so I kind of like it. Suck it, Matt Spencer. I can see the players next to each other. I'll have to be able to do math. There we go. I just jumped in a few ago. This is dope. It is? Okay. Appreciate it, Christopher. I'm just chilling. There's a link earlier in the chat if you want all the 2020 data. Welcome in, man. Happy to have you here. We're just talking about rookies and expectations right now. If you got another question, let me know. Man, all my formatting keeps going wrong. Or rather, I have to keep updating it. Okay. Actual serious conversation. What should you look at for a rookie to understand the expectation? Well, for wide receivers, like we're looking at right now, efficiency does matter. Something Blair Andrews has pointed out. That you're in a higher hit rate group for getting more opportunity the next year, and that's kind of independent of draft capital as well. So the fact Henry Ruggs and Brian Edwards are both actually efficient on a fantasy points per game basis, that actually matters. I mean, I want to shit on Ruggs, but it's a rookie season, so you should never weight it too heavily, to be completely honest. Even with the first round draft capital, I mean, this is more disappointing because he did have first round draft capital than Edwards, in my opinion, but that's an opinion. Not like that's what the numbers say or anything like that. But the fact they were both efficient both means they will probably likely garner more opportunity the next year, which is where they struggled this year. Which brings you to the main thing that you should look at. It's what kind of volume did they get? And I do think it's a good idea to look at the comparison for players in the past. Now, here we've got it set at 2 top 24 seasons, which is relevant for wide receivers. But if we just mark it down a little bit, because all of this thing is a little arbitrary, no, you still kind of expect more opportunity than got from both of their draft rounds. But, you know, adjusting it for the player, do you think that they got less opportunity than average for their draft capital if they're going to be successful? Because the team was doing something else. I mean, neither the Raiders weren't exactly killing it. And when we could look at the team tab for that. Well, yeah, they were passing about the same as they did last year. Their passing attempts were 555. How does that rank? Yeah, it ranks in the bottom quarter of passing attempts. And in terms of points going to wide receivers or volume going to wide receivers. We can sort by expected points by position in the team tab, and the Raiders second to last. Now, I do think some of that is because of the players you have. The volume going to the position is because of the quality of the players you have, right? But they're both rookie players. Can they really be blamed for so little opportunity as a whole going to the position? Not really. And it is fair to say that, Oakland wasn't exactly throwing a lot of opportunity their way to whatever control they have that, independent of what players you have. So, yeah, I think there's a way to keep hope for both Henry Ruggs and Edwards. I have a lot more hope for Edwards because he had a better college profile, lower draft capital, so you should expect a little less. But it was a third-round pick, so both were disappointing, but I don't think it's enough. It's like panic sell, If you like them as rookies, you should probably still like them. That was boring, though, so let's go back to playing with this little thing. The two I'm most concerned about, I guess. Forgot how to spell Dental Min's name. And Jalen Rager. That's not how you spell Rager. There we go. So, let's see. Mims was a second-round pick, if memory serves, and Rager was a first-round pick, obviously. So what did they do? Compared to average, Rager got about 4% less than you'd expect from his draft position if he's going to be successful. Mims actually received more volume. Now, target share is limited, though. So if you look at something that's a little more sophisticated, like opportunity score, which weights it by position, they were both a little underproductive, including Mims, who did have a high target share, but he's getting low opportunity share. But again, if we went and looked at, and we could, New York Jets season, there's a lot of excuses to be had when you're looking at the Jets. So I'm not overly worried about Mims. Well, it was disappointing. And if you like to adjust quickly, you should know that. But also know that he had a higher than expected target share, and really the value of it seemed to be down because of the team situation. So I wouldn't. And Rager, his opportunity was a little less than I'd really hope, especially for a first-round pick with his college profile. So yeah, I'm concerned. And they were both inefficient. Talking to Blair Andrews' work, like that's a problem. These two little columns right here really annoyed the crap out of me. And that's true if you look at yards per attempt, which is the one I typically look at over fantasy points per game. Mims had 0.7, which is decent-ish, but I'm not happy with it. That's not where I want him to be. I mean, on average, players from his draft capital get around that, but I'd hope he would be a little more than expected, because I really liked him. But, I mean, he met expectation in terms of that weird mix of efficiency and volume that is yards per team pass attempt. Rager, on the other hand, was definitely inefficient, especially once you take his draft round in consideration. How much do you want to weight the fact that Philadelphia strongly struggled this year? Me, a lot, because I rest on their college profiles. That's my decision factor of whether to panic or not panic, right? So with Henry Ruggs, I panic a little bit. With Edwards, I don't. With Mims and Rager, I'm not going to panic, but I'm very aware they underperformed in efficiency. And we're a little under-volumized, if I can say it in such a crap way, than you'd expect. Although Mims' target share on such a low passing offense, I'm not sure how much that rates. But if I was defending him in a podcast, I would be like 90% target share, bro. 90% target share. Usually, players only get 15%. That would be my statistical justification for still liking Mims. And Rager, on the other hand, underperformed. So, like, there was a Twitter thread recently, which rookie disappointed that you would expect more for, and my first name is Rager. One, he's the highest player on my list in my rankings based on college profiles that I thought underperformed. I don't think Edwards really underperformed from a third-round pick point of view. But if you look at the actual averages, you could say he underperformed. But Rager's the first one on the list. I wouldn't say Mims underperformed. I would defend that through target share, but I'm telling you honestly, target share on a weak passing on a low passing offense, I think that's a high variance number, and he was inefficient, so it is a concern. But my X factor, the thing I'll always turn back to is their college profiles because I put so much work into them, and that's fine. But remember, if we switch out names here for. I wanted to defend N'Keal Harry, but notice that he was significantly lower than Rager, which is why I'll defend Rager, and I didn't really defend Harry as much as I wanted to. I was still buying him, though. I spent all offseason talking to lots of people, specifically J. Mike Check from the Dynasty, from the Open Bar podcast. He thought I was trying to mind trick him. I was like, Harry's bad. He's probably going to stay bad. I just want him because of his college profile. And he thought I was like trying to juke him. And I wasn't. Like, expectations for Harry are very low after a 10% target share in year one. Rager, 14%. I'm less hopeful. But again, I'm going to cling to that college profile. If I was in a factory, cold mine robot-y, the fact is Rager underperformed sell because you can probably get the same value for him that you drafted him at. But just not me, man. Ride or die, Got it all on Patreon, boss. Nice. You actually have the actual NFL database, which is a little better than the fun one we're playing with right here. I'm Dynasty Chris S on Twitter. Nice to meet you. I appreciate people that use their full names like you've got on him, and I think you're the only one out there on Dynasty Twitter that's listed by their name. Everyone's got like a cool little acronym or something. Does this compare your undrafted agents from last year? Preston Williams, by chance? We can do undrafted free agents, but again, this is not a real database. It's one I'm trying to build kind of half-heartedly, but we can. And what was the other one you mentioned? Preston Williams. Oh, just Preston Williams. Okay. All right. Here's the expectations for undrafted free agents that have at least one top 24 season. We've got 7 of them in this particular sample. And Preston Williams was significantly better than both of them in his rookie year. And we can also look at his second year, I guess, if you like, just by changing that number right there. And he was still producing more and getting a higher volume than most undrafted free agents you'd expect. Yeah, like I still like Preston Williams pretty well, but you've also got to remember, and this, it's different if I'm giving advice compared to telling you what I'm gonna do. To be very clear, and this is the way I'd look at it. Players drafted in the first round should have a higher expectation to do more early. And if you look at the average, you can see how even players with top 24 seasons, players drafted in round 1 have higher numbers than players drafted in round 3. Now, you always have a Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, T.Y. Hilton ceiling to players with lower draft capital, which is why I keep pummeling them and why I love them so much. But most are Cam Meredith, most are Tyra Williams. And I will happily take that L because I love them so much. But we should have less expectation for players that are lower drafted. So Preston Williams should be expected to be good, but within reason. If you're drafting him for, first round prospects, actually, and 7th round prospects look great. Hang on. What's going on there? I don't know. It's a mini database, okay? Yeah, there you go. On average, they're going to produce less than highly drafted players. Now, I insist this is because the NFL has a strong bias against them. They don't want them to be the players on their team. They don't. If they could fade Adam Thielen, they would. They just can't. Even with Justin Jefferson on the team, Adam Thielen is great. But teams are going to want to. And so someone like Preston Williams, there's going to be a lot of turnover on the... I have a lot of concern. But if I can buy him cheaply... And that's where everything comes in. It's about the investment. He's not someone I'm going out and acquiring no matter what because I'm a trutherism. But I'm definitely hanging on to him, and I'm definitely buying him. If he's worth a second-round pick or later, let's go. Like, I'll make that. And I need wide receivers. Normally, I'm trying to add running backs. I have too many wide receivers. But, yeah, I like it. And, yes, we can. We can do anything we want with a spreadsheet. So, yeah, there you go. There's Preston Williams compared... to undrafted free agents and first-round picks. with his rookie year stats. That was incredibly impressive. 21% as an undrafted free agent target share. Let me I actually didn't put undrafted free agents in my actual database. How crappy of me is that? Anyway. But this is the actual database as I've got it right now, which I will update unless I change over to a different database. Excuse me. 105 different columns. It's a lot more. It's better, but it's harder. Freezing. Again, the reason I'm late and I was doing all that live, just in case you've caught up with me at this point, is because I was what I call my name database, although nerds keep correcting me like it's an ID database, whatever, so that I can try my best to start doing rookie data. I'm casually going to ease into it, okay? That's the best I got. Yeah. People asking me for deadlines. I'm hoping to get that data updated before the end of January, but you got to remember, the season isn't over for me. I got to do the playoffs, projections. I've got leagues I've got to get my hands back around because I haven't paid attention to them in all year. Oh, appreciate the support, by the way, Chris. Forgot to say. I really do, man. It's keeping me alive in a literal sense. This is how far I've got the name database updated. So, don't think I'm pummeling it. But this is a PFR ID, and that's a college football reference ID, and this my ID that I use to update my shit. I've also got the AirYards API in here, but I can't. It's a little harder for me to do that because I don't use APIs. But someone gave me data with them in once, so I've added them where I can. These are the AirYards IDs according to the API. And then I've got a list just with basic draftable and college information in case I ever need to create or recreate IDs. And I'm going to link it up to the name syntax in RotoViz 444 and DLF at least, which I actually have somewhere. I've got to import. Well, I have half of it somewhere, so I got to import some of that. And then we'll be good to go. Then I'll start updating my prospect database, which will be so much fun. Speaking of which, I was recently, because of that podcast, I was updating this thing, by the way. Well, I used it on the podcast, so if you listen, you know what I was doing. But there's a better way of doing this, but it created worse results. But this is the average hit rate across all different levels of hitting based on breakout age, both breakout ages and draft capital. Puts Justin Jefferson at the top. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, there's that problem I was talking about, where a higher breakout age is creating a better hit rate. It kind of sucks. But, yeah. And there's a better way of doing it. I could sum it instead of doing specific buckets. But yeah. Anyway, what was I going to look at? 2021 prospects. Here's all the ones I have so far, which have been in there for a year. I like Rashad Bateman. That's all I know. Yeah, so far I only have 2 players, and I don't have 2020 data in here, but him and Tyler Wallace are the only ones having decent production scores right now. But I have a lack of players in here, to be fair. Can I just do wide receiver? Do I have to do all positions? You know how much easier that would be? Anyway. If anyone knows McLean Mannix, he's the only other one I currently have rated with an 18 breakout age in the prospects. Him and Bateman. Wallace and Tylen are the only ones with an age 19 at 30% threshold. And that's probably not going to change because, you know, an extra year of data, they're all a year older. They're probably already all over 19 years old. So those are accurate breakout ages. I just don't have all the players in here. Crossover, that's literally all I know right now as well. And I'm still voting for Tyler Johnson, man. Can we get some more Tyler Johnson love out there? He's got to be free now, right? There we go. There's my boy. 3% target share. Let's get it. The NFL sucks, man. So hard. Where was he drafted? 6th round? Yeah. There you go. Let's get it, Tyler Johnson. There he is, my boy. I never understand that draft capital. Never. Refuse to. Yeah, 3%. You got to start somewhere. You may as well start above 0. That's what I say. Just above 0. That's where he is at. I like it. I can try, if you would like, to start adding college data right now, but I can promise you my stream will just die. Do I follow you, by the way, Chris? You gave me your Twitter handle. I assume I follow you, man. Tell you what we'll do. I've got to update weekly data. Shit. Nah, forget it. What we're going to do... We'll try and open the college database that's live, shall we? And if I don't crash, step 1 complete. You know what I mean? Take it as a positive sign. Oh. Just trying. See that blank screen? Oh, it opened. Look at that. Last person I added was Travis Fulgham. That makes sense. It really conforms to none of my preconceptions, by the way. '21 and 23 breakout ages. Okay. College data. So I have to update all of this. Hang on a second. I'll get to the end in a minute. Okay, there we go. For every player that might be drafted. Oh, I'm already lagging. I can see my cursor slowing down. In the 2021 class. Some of it I have to calculate, and some of it I can get collected for me. This is the hell you're putting me into. You realize that? You bastards. We're not even out 2001 yet. All right. I have data updated to 2019. It should be. Yep. I don't want to. See, I say that, and then I immediately start doing it. Well, look, I did look up some of them. Nice. See, this is all players whether they went to the NFL or not. So a lot of them don't have data, and I got to go through manually and figure out which one's which. It takes forever. No, I'm missing some of them. Missing a lot of them. No. See, I've got all these friends who can make all this so much easier for me. Like Matt could literally just give me this data. But it would mean rebuilding it. All of it. I don't want it. I don't. Then I'd have no way. No, it would be nice. I don't know, man. It's not like they could say much. I mean, I don't expect players to give a fuck about their analytics, you know? They're just trying to improve their game. I honestly, like with Tyler Johnson, no idea. I mean, maybe there is an issue with him of some sort. I wouldn't know. I try to trust. Yeah. Try answering that. Why weren't you better, younger? Hey, why weren't you just better, man? Why could you just be better, please? Yeah, why were you? Why was Devontae Smith out targeting you, Mr. Ruggs? What? Well, since I invent the scheme, I know the answer for that. Yeah, I know I did it intentionally, Excel. Chill. See, that should match up. That's a little worrying, actually. Is Kingdom drafted in 2013 or 2012? Well, he was undrafted. There was a problem. His first year was 2012, but he recorded no stats. Oh, come on, man. That's going to be a lot of these guys. Yeah, this is it. This is how it starts. Manually going through, removing spaces. I think I dealt with this junior thing. It's removing them. So what I could do, so I don't have to change any other data. That. That fix of? Yes, it did. No, I didn't. Oh. How about some do, some don't? That's the worst possible scenario. I don't. I don't even know. No. I mean, no, but yes. Is Terry McLaurin the first wide receiver to have a top 24 season without having a breakout at all in college? No, but yes. If you take out players that were running backs or quarterbacks, yeah, I think he is. I can check that. No, not the only one. I mean, Adam Thielen doesn't count. Adam Humphries had a top 24 season once, I think. Julian Edelman's a quarterback. Cecil Shorts didn't break out. Okay, let me take out players that I don't have data on here. Running back, Tyreek Hill was a running back. Julian Edelman was a quarterback. I think Adam Humphries. He broke out at a 20% threshold. No, he didn't. So yeah, Adam Humphries. I'm pretty sure he's had a top 24 season. Top 12 season, different, probably. Yeah. Is there anything weird in Adam Humphries' data? As in missing? No. So Adam Humphries is the only one with the top 24 season I can think of. I've got to rewrite the way I do my ID formula. It's going to help out with this stuff a little bit. That sucks. Mm. Mm. Sorry, I drifted off there for a second. What got me started in the fantasy industry? Someone asked me to fill in a league. They needed a 12th man as well. That's it. I was like, sure. I like sports, and I need friends. It's part of another hobby for him. After that, I just enjoyed it, and you get into it the same way everyone else gets into it. I guess motivation is I moved to a new country. I was trying to get ingrained in a group, find my peeps. I like sport. No one here really liked the sports I was used to. Sounded like a good idea. How about you? So I do it this way. Yeah, but what got you into it? Just heard about it? Or? Yeah, that's how they get you. You join Twitter and there's no end. Yeah, Scott did real well with Goblin last year. Yeah, redraft is the way getting sucked in for dynasties. That first league I was part was the redraft one, and you just end up wanting to keep some of your players. Same. What got you into redraft would be the follow-up question. Damn it. Yeah. Genius word gets thrown away and way too much, but I appreciate it, dude. And Jefferson 24. Yep. Just trying to get my hands around these IDs so I can start maybe rebuilding. I would hate to rebuild the thing, but if I can get the IDs lined up, that's why I'm taking so long on it. If I can master my name database and link it up with the IDs that are being used in the APIs that my friends use to get the data, then updating it's going to be easier. I won't say great, but I'll say easier. Well, here's a thing I can use to test. I know. Damn it. No. Oh. I'm still not getting all of them. $727 players listen. I would hate to do that. Why can't I find Tom Brady now? I mean, no Tom Brady's, huh? Yeah, seems suspect. Good news is it might be because I have a better name database here than in my college market share thing. Oh, because he's listed as a wide receiver. Oh. Oh yeah, I'm having to do that. Ah. I'm filling in missing draft capital. Fun stuff. Oh my God. That's why. Didn't even have him. Don't crash on me now. Yeah, anyone want to take this great job? Short on drink. Probably laying most of the players in my database right now. That's my best guess. Oh. See, here's why I'm doing this and not giving you market share numbers, just in case anyone's here or anyone's going to be here later. If I can line up names, player IDs, essentially. Lots of my friends scrape data from websites. I don't. So I get it from them and I try and link it all up for us, right? Here's the thing: we don't know what a player. We don't know who 001114 is. So I have to link it up with player names. So the problem with player names is that everyone uses different abbreviations. Some have junior, some have junior with a full stop, some have seniors, some have middle names included differently on different websites. So we need a way that we can extract data for that player through any particular year we're looking at, because we're trying to create a yearly database for them in college, and connect them to names so that we can look at Michael Thomas and know we're looking at his stats joined with some other Michael Thomas we don't know, because it's going through his ID to pull him up. If I can get that done, then building the market share database is just a matter of data inclusion, which is where I had it. But now we all have a new class with new IDs and la, 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 la. And the way I've been doing it before is a lot more manual entry than most people would be comfortable with to try and straighten it all out. But if I can get this built properly, not half-assed like I haven't had it done before, then I can continue to just add new IDs as new classes come and link them up with a player name. Doesn't matter. So if I get this straightened, then I can just get my data from my friends, link all their data correctly and accurately through their IDs up through every age and every season, blah, 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 blah. Let's see, that's the dream anyway. And then just populate the market share database. And because then we could import any NFL stat we want. And again, right now, that's why I haven't updated it yet. That's what the database is. I have it all linked up through a unique ID system I made to link directly to every player before 2019. But now we've got 2020, and my IDs aren't anywhere else on the world apart from me. So I have to go create them all again or use ones that exist. And maybe it's time to start using ones that already exist. I don't know. I don't know. Because you also have to hook it up to, combine data. And draft picks, which all come from different places. You can delete that now. And this is a version of my NFL database, so we can do that. But it's all linked through these player IDs I made. I'm still going to have to update my NFL database. I just broke it again. Yeah, I'm going to take a break. I really got to reconsider or just consider how I'm going to do all of this. Oh, I've been dreading this fucking thing. Now you all got me in it. Let me make your data. Okay. So by next stream, next Monday, because we're going to keep streaming every Monday and doing a podcast every Saturday. Why not? I'm hoping to have a pretty good idea of how I'm going to update my college database, and maybe I've even started to do it. So tune in next week and maybe I have college data for you. I will be making this face between now and then. It's fucking I gotta go though. Check in with my family, maybe eat something, restart my computer, because if you can't tell, it's crashed. That's why the screen is up. It won't do anything. I tried to unfilter too many things on too big a sheet. So, yep. I'm taking a break. That's Bob Gilchrist promises that is a sign to take a break. So I'm taking a break. Appreciate you all. See you next Monday, and on Twitter all day, every day. Thanks for sticking through with it, Crossrover. Really appreciate me being your desk mate there, Guy, for a while. I liked it. Enjoy myself. One Black Coffee for showing up. Chris, nice to see you on the stream. Thanks very much, and I will talk to you again all day, every day on Twitter, and Monday next week, and this Saturday when I do a podcast, and all the times in between, obviously.